to kind of give the intro to what this is all about, there was this idea I've had for a while, and I've talked to Kenan and others about it, trying to figure out how we're gonna get this sorted out. And it kind of didn't come together initially because this is something that we planned from I don't even let's say at least Dark Souls 3, if not earlier than that, maybe.
For me, weighing in on this situation, knowing how motivated you are to show off invasions and how passionate you have been over the years and years of you playing all the Souls games, your intro video explaining the initial concepts of invasions is pretty poignant for why you're doing this.
I want to show people how cool this stuff can be, and I think across all of Twitch there has not been enough celebration of how good invasions can be, how fun they can be, how interesting they can be. We see a lot of stuff that kind of more resembles duels, or people aren't nearly as cutthroat as they could be, and I think there's just there's a lot of gems out there that have just not hit Twitch and YouTube, but I really want that to change.
Even in the height of when Dark Souls 1 was streaming big time on Twitch especially, there was a tremendous amount of emphasis on fight clubs and things of that nature and duels, but not as much to invasions. And usually if you did invasions, you were thought to be just a slimy, scummy individual, even though you were taking part in a built-in mechanic of the game.
When you look back at what initially had been posted, that interview actually was kind of another breath of life into this whole thing. Looking at this interview with Miyazaki from 4Gamer in 2009 for Demon Souls, and it's yeah, I totally accounted for the fact that this stuff's super asymmetric, and let's just make it to where even though the invader is relatively disadvantaged, a lot of people were oh, you're jumping into Druid People's Day, and it's this is an intended mechanic.
And I think that you had mentioned this before, and it's a good way to kind of put it as well. It's almost like a roguelike version of the game, where it's you don't know the experiences that you're going to be walking into on the invasion. You have to just basically improvise almost every single time, but be prepared, right?
Yeah, stay flexible, pay attention, look for openings, and that's what I hope to see today.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of these either, so this is gonna be that was the rule. We couldn't see any of this.
So much effort into just don't look at it, just look at the name and look at the short description. This one is from, I don't know how to pronounce this, 13R0C1Y.
Isn't that broccoli?
Broccoli?
Or
I was going to say Lorosity, but I think broccoli maybe makes more sense. And the description is an invasion and character I'm very proud of. Assessing the family build. I don't know what this family build thing is.
It's a Vin Diesel build.
Is it?
No, I don't fucking know, man.
They say the name of the character is Cos Bordeaux. St. Ryan's Covenant. Okay, yeah. So basically the I don't know which one's which because they're both using, one of them's probably using the mirror, I think. Host and Phantom are chilling with at least the high ground, although it doesn't matter too much. They're just chilling in front of that with I don't know why you're using a great shield and still blocking that because it's a lot of lightning damage, but whatever.
Just get out of the way.
Why? Whoa, no.
Ooh, that's chunky.
You saw that in his hands, though.
Well, it's good baiting out the FP.
Chilling though, I would be I'd be sitting there like a freaking animal, pacing the fence looking for the spot to get in. I wouldn't just be sitting there chilling. I mean, at least if nothing else, it's yes, you're wasting their FP, and if somebody thinks it's cool to, I guess that's what it is. They're just playing chicken with ranged weapons right now.
Yeah.
And the funny thing though is that the hosts and phantoms are going to lose this. I mean, even if you take damage as the invader, it's you're hitting 3 separate people often enough. Yeah, and good guess there.
Yeah, that's good.
Phantom kill. It's not that I want to rush in, but I'd be looking for opportunities. I don't want to let the situation sit.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. Maybe Blood Flame Talons goes through shields or something. I don't I'm trying to figure out where the benefit of that is.
Maybe it's the delay. The delay working with latency or something.
Well, I guess what it could be is that you'll finish the animation and you basically have you effectively have frame advantage on your next attack. So it's if they don't hit you, then you're going to combo with a Blood Flame and maybe it's really high damage level or something. It's one of those things where you throw away your initial frame advantage in order to get it later. I would have been pretty greedy. I would have gone to try to get that guard crush, even though I would have gotten hit in the back of the head while I do it. I really want to see what the plan is for Blood Flame Talons. Maybe it's going to do something.
Big old fatty roll got caught.
Oh yeah, it's the extra hit for wall strikes that I never think about ever. The little finishing strike that you like. You remember the stamp sweep one earlier? I feel like you kind of get a similar benefit there. Like you hit and then go into the finisher.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Blood Flame Talons can combo off of lots of stuff if it lands. That was the whole idea behind the Covenant. Really? Because I don't like. I hear the family and I'm like, Cannon's like Vin Diesel, and I'm thinking like. Is this some sort of mafia thing?
Well, no. I mean, obviously, it's the first message, the Saint Rod's player covenant. So I'm assuming,
Saint
obviously,
Riot,
or Saint Riot. Sorry.
So yeah, I vaguely remember the player covenant stuff from ages ago. I missed the opportunity, and I think it was mostly duels, so I was kind of not super interested in it. But then it was like at the last minute, I'm like, wait a second, fucking organize a bunch of people using magic though, and like I had already missed the boat. Nobody was allowing new submissions for covenants, and I didn't want to join another covenant, so I'm just like, okay, I missed it.
That's interesting. I mean, I like the idea of player covenants. They tend to, I don't know, increase more of a dynamic with just how people interact with one another. It reminds me of like old MMO days where you had like guilds fighting against each other, even if they were on the same faction for shit. So I kind of like that idea.
I miss when it was more easy to co-invade, because that was when player covenants really worked.
Oh, that's true.
Like Dark Souls 3 doing it in the Theron Keep stuff. For the most part.
I do have to say that on the whole, for at least these particular invasions, there still isn't like a variety of items being used.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that more.
These are like, you have a build that does a lot of damage and you're fighting people who don't know what they're doing. You don't have to make difficult decisions and make the scenario work in your favor. This is like the scenario is already in your favor and it just comes down to like very simple, speed and precision versus the opponents, and you just need your overwhelming ability to fight effectively a 3-versus-1 duel to work in your favor, more so than like you need to manipulate the scenario as well as have a very diverse toolkit.
I saw he tried to actually abort that shot and dodge, but he just couldn't get out in time.
Yeah, you're stuck. Like the moment you press the button, it's like Like I think the psychology here is like trying to figure out how do you get them to commit to something before. Like it takes longer to shoot the cannon than it does to do an uncharged bolt from the Vault of Ransack. So you need to get them to commit in such a way to where you will beat them and they won't finish.
Well, even still, like I would think that most bleed builds, the initial damage isn't really that great to kind of counteract what you said earlier, but the bleed itself is always a pain in the ass.
And the bleed is, the bleed does not care how much health you have. The bleed will get you in, just like three bleeds, or whatever amount it is. I think it's changed now. It's some other number.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have a harder time with the PvP that are mostly used to PvE, but it still takes a lot to kind of counteract that. It's not like super easy to get into a group full of people, even if they're just all swinging at you, right? To take care of that problem.
Yeah, so, and like you definitely have to have a good idea of where. Like for me, it's like, no, I'm not going in. I'm never going to poise through it. I'm never going to do enough damage because I'm not using colossal weapons in big damage scenarios. Like my setups are not that strong for a direct encounter. Mine tend to just be like, I can always work the situation in my favor because I always have something that works for me. I just have to figure out which one is the one that they're not ready for, or switch enough to where they can't handle it.
Nobody's ever gonna have like your or my particular play style. There's gonna be some similarities, obviously, or some common tactics that are used amongst all the invaders. But I think there typically is some defining factors for the individualization of when someone goes in on a fight like this. Whether it just be mentality of being like, hey, I know I can wade through 3 motherfuckers and come out okay, or it's like how you do it. Basically, you try to pick off one at a time if possible and even up those odds slowly but surely.
If you check a little bit towards the end of this, basically, where they finish the backstab on the host and then immediately go for Talons. I think this is the only case where I think Talons is actually doing what has been described so far. And then Talons comes out, and you see immediately following up. I don't know if the host thought that they were dead, but it looked like that might have been a long enough stun to get into, I guess, what would have been the first swing of Wild Strikes into the follow-up.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a meaty Black Flame combo or some shit from one.
Oh yeah,
when you're casting inside their body, but you know they're gonna roll, but it's gonna catch anyway, and then you follow up with something else.
All right. This is from somebody named Danger Awaits You. They did not specify whether that's Twitch or YouTube, and the description is just fun blood mage invasions. Interesting how these are like cut, I guess, from like relatively
mid-fight.
late in there. Yeah. I guess it's difficult to fit 10 minutes either way. one of those like very open space. Like I've accidentally dated a duel.
That was a good opportunity.
Family net? Oh, you mean the maces?
Well, catching the backstab.
Or the heads, I should say, not the maces. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, actually, I don't see him. Yeah, I thought was it just not just was it? I'll have to watch it again. I thought like I had just like sort of blanked and thought it was just Ranker Call, not the flail. The family heads, I think, just takes one skull, right? Nobody ever uses it. You know, I think I've maybe used a twin blade almost never.
Same.
Adma shot. Maybe that's the thing I should do next time I invade, next stream. Start like tinkering around a little bit with twin blades. What infusion is that? I don't think it's in cult. It's something else. Oh, you can't infuse a cult, right? It's gotta be... It's what, Keen?
I can't remember. I'm like trying to take in all of the the shenanigans.
Yeah, like this one is more is not really so much showing off the like not so much item usage, not so much
it's just
positioning.
a tussle. Like it's just straight up a fucking fight.
It's just navigating. You know, it's just doing the best as you can to navigate two people who are on you, and you know.
Yeah. That was a good catch.
Is that the bleed proc? Oh, yeah. So, oh, interesting. Okay, so this is a twofer, apparently. I guess they're trying to fit as much as they can in. So another one of those, like, we're working in basically just an like, Illyria is just a flat plane. There's nothing there to work with. I mean, you know, you got some lobster action, but that's, if there, you know, if you're wondering why it's so popular for duelists, it's because there's nothing to work with, and it's flat. And very favorable to lighting weapons. I mean, generally, like, good pressure, good punishing, probably could chase a little more. I definitely want to review both of these to kind of see what more we can glean out of it.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Like, obviously, invasions have a different feel and how they operate when you're going from something like a flat scenario like this to some of the previous ones that we were watching. Verticality for me is key.
Yeah. For me, it's like I want to break the line of sight often, and I want enemies next to me.
Yeah.
It's like right now, if you have to run, like you're in this position where it's like, well, I guess you're kind of like going to look for stuff, and it's like I will not fight next to stuff unless I know I have a good position for me.
Yeah, like where the fuck are you gonna hide?
That's why on one of my saves, and I needed to propagate this to the template build. I have everything marked on one of the saves using the map markers, so I like everything has skulls on it everywhere. Like every lobster has a skull. You know, any of the convenient revenants and stuff.
This is good utilization, though.
Yeah, this is definitely like at least making it to where it's like, okay, well now you actually can fight, and yeah, switching to like, okay, the Phantom doesn't want to fight. Like, where's the host? Like, making those sort of decisions is good. And I don't know what the hell the Phantom's doing.
He's piecing out.
It reminds me of like there were cases where stuff would just lag out, and it's like the character would run out into space. Oh, another invasion. Okay.
Wow.
Three of them. Well, these should be separate divisions. Well, yeah, I guess that's probably why.
Yeah, that was a good push. They were both on time.
Wait, we got a fourth one? Okay, yeah, they're just lumping in, you know, this is like a stack of clips.
It's alright. We'll be more clear next time.
Yeah. I don't care if they all get high votes. Like, if we get like a bunch of 9+ vote entries, we'll just start grabbing as many as we can. Especially if they're short, we'll just run through them all.
Yeah. Man, blues, bringing me back.
GG Blue. Thank you for your contribution to the Estes Fund.
Yeah. So we've reverted to rivers.
River's is still decent. You just gotta be closer now. And you know, you gotta actually like use it instead of just like spam it. Plus, it's relatively hard because it's hard to dodge just because of the timing of the swings. Good job, Blue. You're completely worthless.
I mean, most blues are. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, you know that video I had done a while back with like the blue problem for Dark Souls 3? In the background of the video was like just a constant stream of like, you know, one-shot riposting blues.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh no! Hey! Get the fuck out of here with that shit! Don't battle. That time is better spent killing people.
That's negative DKP, sir.
Is the R2 for that? Like that reference, by the way. Vibor does. Anyways, does the R2 always have that? Is that just unique to? Oh well,
they were not PvPers.
Yeah, they're not. I think this one was the weakest by like a leap and bound. This one was just like we're fighting in a class. This is like a duel with more steps.
Yeah, dual XL. That's really what it reminds me of.
Dual XL. But I guess the charge R2 for a twin blade does extra. It's a multi-hit thing. It's a fancier attack. It's good though because the dude's just sitting there parrying and just like, hey, I'm gonna get you. I don't backstab punish nearly enough just because I like the way the lag works. It just doesn't feel as good.
Yeah, it's so difficult to determine if you're gonna get it right.
That plus a lot of the animations, like you have to backstab relative to the origin of the character, and if the animations are all twisty, the origin stays the same and the character moves. It's like trying to backstab somebody using the R2s in Black Knight Great Axe and Dark Souls 1.
Jeez, yeah.
I like the attempts though on Fia's Mist. It's like I'll just step around that.
Yeah, Again, it doesn't really play out too well, and this isn't against the invader, obviously. It doesn't really play out too well in an open field.
The funny thing, though, the thing I'm kind of thinking about as I look at twin blades like this, especially running Bloodflame Blade, is that each of those random hits is another proc for something that I don't think scales in any way. The amount of build-up per time you get is not like the same type of like the saddest MBs that you get on other weapons. It's like 100% per hit, no matter what.
That one host is just jumping and shooting, and it's really not doing shit.
This dude's seen the that initial like the really early gameplay reveal with the dude who was like, let me spirit summon and then jump back and forth with my like short bow. Good seeing, I don't know what the stats of this Phantom are, but using Crystal Darts, I mean, at least somebody's like, I want to see more throwing item usage because they're actually good. And, you know, realistically, if they have any FP at all, then start putting down glintstone scraps and stuff.
I don't know when that became a thing. Like, when it became better almost all the time to carry. Like, obviously it was always beneficial to some degree, but I'm trying to think of what game it really kind of skyrocketed to have just almost as a necessity to have someone throwing shit with you.
And Demon Souls had a couple good ones. Dark Souls 1 was trash. Dark Souls 2 sort of was middling in some cases, especially when holy pots were good before they got nerfed into the ground. Dark Souls 3 was the point where it's like, yes, you need to bring these.
Oh no, he hits it.
Okay, yeah. Was it? Wait. Was that hit? Like, we need to go back. Why don't I take a look? So
yeah, watch it now.
Jumps over it.
That's when he hits it.
Oh, right.
He actually hits it then.
It counts as standing still. Probably does. I don't know if I consider that luck or intentional.
Well, he would have gotten what? Well, would he have gotten the host? I think the host died first, so yeah, he would have gotten the host anyway.
So yeah, like I think in terms of just like using the weapon, like good demonstration of twin blade stuff. What I think of when I'm thinking of invading is not like fighting people like in either like a predetermined space, like over here. The very end looks more like a duel and less like an invade. Like everyone's got all together with it.
I will say that like this is your. I mean, from what I know, this is like your typical go-to type of weapons when you know you're going to encounter multiple people. I would say weapons with like good arc and good AoE to them when you know that people are probably going to just be surrounding you and trying to hit you.
Yeah, I need to get a better feel for what the how wide the swings are with a. I mean, like that particular swing, like the running attack, which was mentioned earlier. It's like is it like a 3-hit, 2-hit, and having that big slice at the end is solid. So this one is called, you guys remember the Dodongo invasion in Zelda Ocarina of Time and how you kill it? I don't remember. I played through Ocarina of Time. I'm gonna like get myself some shit. I didn't really like it that much. I know. I think it's like people who have played it at release probably were like, oh, this is amazing. But what I think was cooler was probably Majora's Mask, which I didn't, like I played only a small bit of, but I'm like, I need to find time to stream this because this looks pretty legit. And I think that's going to be the one where I think the presentation and everything kind of was interesting to me.
Well, alas, we can see what happens.
Yeah,
But
let's,
despite your bad taste in games, Jerp, we can watch this.
Let's take a look. All right, what do we got? Oh, so wait. Oh, no, that's right. This is the one from. Initially, I'm like, wait a second, you can invade in this boss. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the other one, the other of the magworms.
I like the swap here.
I need to go back and see that because I didn't. I was turned to the side looking at the worm. I don't know what swap you did. What we saw here.
No. Max actually spotted the Phantom going in the elevator, so he went down at the same time.
Thanks for the host. Yeah, like this is where like if there's an invader in the world and there's a boss next to you, leave immediately.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing? Like I think okay, now you figured you lost 90% of your HP and you finally figured it out. So yeah, like good posturing there. Now the question ends up being like if you're sitting there with a colossal weapon and you're being chased down by somebody with whips and all of this mess. Well, that was excellent.
That was clever.
Yeah, the reaction speed for that was legit. Oh, you know what you probably could do? You know how there's the whole thing of you threw a frost pot at Melania to prevent waterfall dance? This is the player version of that.
Yeah, 100%. That's funny. We'll watch it again.
Yeah. I want to look at this wherever the elevator was.
The host is like, oh shit, there's somebody here, and then the Phantom tries to come up and handle the business.
Oh yeah.
He's in
talking about that. Yeah.
That shit's funny.
So a little bit of a cursory. This is a primer to some degree of using colossal weapons in invasions as well, because I never touch them. Had no luck with colossals, and really the reason why is because nothing upgrade wise is any good until later levels. Yeah.
So good. I think the only time that I've ever used colossal weapons is probably back in Dark Souls 1 when I was doing like Mimi shit.
Same. Yeah, I was doing a bit in Dark Souls 2, but only because of the butcher knife thing. It's basically the one weapon that is a universal power stance with just about everything. And you basically bait with the right hand butcher knife and you have a left hand guts greatsword and just crush people with it.
This is why in Invasions. I mean, a lot of people use why in Invasions, especially for in Dark Souls 1. You got a lot of giant dads flipping around with Ys.
But there's better choices in a lot of cases unless you're like really solid at getting those hits to happen, because if you're trying to get poise to happen, running 2-handed R2 with most weapons is a lot. You outspace them and you just go in for the R2s. Oh,
that was a good invasion too. I was surprised, but yeah, I tend to go with non-colossals myself, but it's good to see that they actually have some application.
Especially because they get buffed. They're much faster now. So this one is from Jaunty Hog, and the short little description on this one is a Divine Tower of Caelid, a Great Axe, and Wrath of Gold. Mine the drop. Maybe this. So this is a 2-minute video. This is, I believe, a little bit shorter than the one we were looking at earlier.
I could already tell. I love messing with gravity in this fucking game.
And Caelid, like this tower is rough. Like this is like the only reasonable place to fight, as far as you can remember, except for the very bottom, maybe. Oh yeah. It's like screw that. Screw Ways of Gold. You can do it somewhere where this, like, you can have the covers the entire ground spot in the area where there's not much ground.
Why? Why would he do this?
Did he misread? Healing right on top of. I think the charged version might have done it.
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting idea though. Trying to figure out how to either work around, in this case, burn the ground. Yeah, they're trying to all how could we hit around the side? What can we do to wrap? Yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Get that barrier of gold running. Oh, this is good though, because if he's not being hit, the stuff that actually can hit is not gonna do much damage.
They're just wasting too.
All their FP is going down the drain.
Oh, got him.
Oh yeah. It took a while, a little lag there, but yeah, you just gotta be patient. Don't play the host game. Get your resources back. Oh,
not enough poise.
Yeah, not yet. I wouldn't be ready to go in there and take to basically sit still with unendurable frenzy, trying to soaking up whatever damage as they roll back and use weapon skills and stuff.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
There we go. It's funny how if you can get enough poise into Stamp Sweep, the damage is good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's a quickie, but it's still good. I mean, you can tell that they were pretty focused or relatively focused casters, pretty high or at least relatively high level, but the damage that he took, especially from the one nerd he ejected off, was pretty substantial when he took it.
I'm kind of surprised. Like we were seeing a lot of 500s and stuff. If I'm trying to fight somebody who has the full 60 vigor and I'm only doing 500 per hit, and they're also able to do they're popping the blasphemous blade and all this other stuff, waves of gold. I'm concerned about the damage. I'd be like, I don't want to fight them head on. Like I just don't have and look at the damage this dude took from the dude that you knocked off. So this is the kind of gamble I don't want to take.
Yeah, this is always the hairy part though, right?
Yeah, it's
you got two phantoms in an enclosed hallway.
I guess to some degree you kind of know that they're not really that smart because if somebody's doing waves of gold right next to you, it's you can knock them out of it. I would kind of be willing to say they're not aggressive enough.
No, right there, I don't think they were. I think, honestly, he baited them into chugging themselves by chugging, even if it wasn't intentional. And you'll notice a lot of either hosts or their phantoms do that. But they're like, oh, he took a sip, I'm going to take a sip. And it's I will just close that distance at that point in time.
What's interesting, though, is I guess what it did occur to me was that there is a lot of extra poise on that.
Yeah, it's a pretty chunky amount.
Notice, okay, so one dude, the caster in the back, the lunar, is sitting there with Slicer against a dude who's clearly knows how to use the great axe thing, and the dude sitting there one hitting the freaking can't even remember the name of the stupid waves of gold weapons. You gotta two-hand these things. You will start breaking poise even with these cases. I don't think you have infinite poise with Stamp Sweep.
I guess it kind of makes you wonder how much... So, Elden Ring brought in a lot of new players, right?
Yeah.
It's not like all these people are veterans, too, so...
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, they, most of the people, to be fair, criticizing the hosts and phantoms really doesn't... first off isn't the point of this, and second is okay, well, if the players the invader is facing are 3 people of the same tier as the invader, you're gonna struggle, because if they have the knowledge to manipulate the world, it's you are inherently at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I guess I just bring it up because at least the amount of experience and time that I have personally put into Dark Souls 1, you start to get it under your head that how many times has it been driven into our head poise breaks, right?
Yeah.
Two-handed is this, you make sure you have enough poise for this so that way a two-handed katana won't break you. That shit is ingrained in your being at that point in time.
It was 76 for Zweihander in Dark Souls 1 or something like that.
Yeah, and it's in part because of the definition of what poise has changed over the games. But also the influx of new players within Elden Ring. A lot of people don't have that experience anymore. They probably just didn't get it, especially in the heat of the battle, I should probably two-hand this because even if I hit him 2 or 3 times, I might be quick enough to knock him, out of poise.
Yeah, and to be fair, your DPS is, in many cases, going to be higher one-handed anyways. It really depends on it's so situational, but it's if everyone has infinite poise and people are swinging at each other, at the very least, there's a lot of cases where it's more stamina efficient to do one-handed.
I was expecting more gravity, but
that was the thing. That was probably the thing that stood out for me. It's the one bit knocking the dude out was good, but for me, mentally, I think of the titles and the description should be relative to whatever the big finisher moment is. Getting some random dude out of the way. It's definitely a good move, and good to finally get that to happen. I think you probably could have got it sooner with a charge, but I expect that to be kind of the big finishing moment, or the defining feature for the invasion, where really the defining bit was Stamp Sweep right there.
Yeah, it's this. Yeah. No, it's still good. I'm glad he closed the deal with that because it's always, for me, super anxiety driven when you're in an enclosed hallway with 2 casters and the threat of being stun locked to death is always there.
Yeah, for me, the big accomplishment was that this dude knows how to use a colossal weapon and figure out when exactly to use this thing that will just wreck people. The description for this one from Storyteller Max is Sewers Invasion, a good one, judge it. Well, it starts immediately with Jar Cannon. So this actually was, this was like in the middle of somebody's invasion. I guess they had cut off the bits that didn't matter so much. Like they look, it's funny watching them look scattered like ants and whatnot.
Oh, he's got a full crew.
All to the sides. But yeah, it's like you don't want to be on a, like there's no, like, why would you ever want to be on a ladder versus an invader who knows anything about, like, because not only can you use volcano manners, or volcano pots, volcano manners, but throwing knives have the same effect per hit. I don't know why he's trying to compete. Like, so the dude's got poise.
Yeah.
Arrows do like nothing for poise. And you're going to fight against somebody using, well, I guess those are both the, what? Those are the Stormhawk arrows, what are they called?
I'm trying to
arrows?
think.
Yeah. Because they have a little bit of like a, sort of an AoE, little TT little bit. Oh, it's like this dude's using, oh no. I was gonna say, like, good choice for volcano pots, but you also gotta pay attention. Good to know when to cut your losses and start turning, like, basically get out of line of sight for the other dude, don't fight him right next to him. Like, within sight of the dude who was trying to shoot back with an axe with a bow.
Trying to take in everything that's going on.
See that omen in the background, I would be running for it. Because like,
yeah,
this dude's not trading very well. Like,
oh, he's
against,
Omen's coming. Or he was.
He's gotta look, there we go. Well, that's a lot of lag.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of latency. There he is.
There's another Phantom. Okay, good. Well, Omen's gonna kill somebody, I hope. Gotta get out of line of sight, though. Yeah, Joe, these are all Elden Ring clips. Where are you going? You probably, oh, you know what it is? Because the other dude's busy, he's gonna go find the host.
That was pretty clever, honestly.
Yeah, it's smart. I haven't been using these that often because of the downscaling bug, which finally got fixed. One of the bugs.
I guess it's better than nothing.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, he probably went to go get a drink or something. Waiting for, oh, he's around, okay. He doesn't expect it.
Yeah.
And his Phantom is like, I don't even know where. The lag is killing this dude. That would have killed before he could chug.
Of course, Vikes.
Yeah.
My dude saw the Twitch rivals.
Was it all Vikes?
There was a lot. It was.
I didn't see
that's
it.
another
I couldn't
video.
handle that.
Yeah, that's for another video.
We should probably
session.
watch that together at some time and just do a quick
God.
like co-watch of that.
Yeah, if you want to, I am super down to judge with you.
It's not besides the madness. He's not getting hit too hard, but like fighting a dude who like I mean that's the biggest thing. I'd probably be trying to figure out a way to fight this dude a little further out. Just to not, I have no idea what this dude is doing guard counters.
Yeah, it's.
Hey, Miscreant.
Oh God, man, that.
Yeah, the AoE is the rough part. Like that, this is going to be. I would be probably wanting to say, let me just back up and let this dude waste his FP.
Yeah.
While also making sure the dude never attempts to summon anybody.
I give props on that parry attempt though. Like he had to be way earlier with it. Obviously,
the timing would have been good if it wasn't for the lag. Like
yeah,
a couple of them were good.
This is literally bringing me back to like Dark Souls 1 days. That parry timing was terrible.
Well, it was like, especially on PS3, where it was like not only did it just run worse, but the
yeah, there he goes.
Bummer. Oh well, I wonder where he's gonna land though. Where is this? Oh, oh well.
I think that's in front.
Spear versus spear.
Yeah, he's got a re.
Is that the third one? I think it's the third one.
Yeah, that's the third.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, well.
He's back up then. Oh, that's not great for that guy.
Bad place to be. Oh, no. Yeah, that's... Oh, the host was there,
oh
too?
My God.
Why would you back up into that spot, though? The bottom of the ladder. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is why, like, if you know the map really well, this is super legit. But,
Yeah.
so he turns around a bit. I'm gonna lower the volume while I scrub a little bit, and you might need to as well. But there is, you see like, so this dude knew that one of the spawn points was probably close to the elevator, and I guess it would be what going. Let me think. If they had gone up the elevator again and they had landed there, so did they like turn around after running up the ladder because they couldn't?
I don't know. Was that? Hold on, I can't remember who that guy was that was killed. That was the remaining.
It was the
Phantom,
host.
right?
No, the host. That was it.
Well, the host was there too, but there was 2 people there.
Oh yeah, the other Phantom. Maybe they had went to go see the Phantom, and the Phantom went to the top, and they jumped down because the host couldn't handle it.
The Phantom was stuck, or no, the host was stuck falling. Did you see that? That was good.
See.
Yeah, look, he's perpetually falling there. The host got killed, but he just stopped in like a falling animation until he hit the ground. So he got murdered before he even hit the ground, basically. These are good like opening salvos, especially with that. And I like the fact that he's using like a variety of items too, or at least some items, because I don't know. I am typically like very focused sometimes, or forget that I have items, which is like the bane of any invasion.
Oh yeah, like and like here, like like you can see this dude has the fan daggers as the right pouch slot, but you gotta keep some stuff that you can spam, like at least just regular throwing daggers or something, because let the dude get to the top and then start throwing, because what ends up happening is that I think for that height might actually do. I don't know if it'll kill or not. I don't know if that's 20 meters. Rather than hoping that you'll finish the throw for a volcano pot and hit, you could just lock and just start spamming with the throwing daggers, and you will knock people down. That's been like a Dark Souls 3 thing too.
It's a good weapon swap though. I realize that he's not gonna necessarily outbox this guy.
Yeah.
Because the cannon is slow.
That bit though, I don't know. I don't even know if there's a ladder off to the top or where the dude came from. But yeah, that's the thing for me. It's like I'm normally like, you'll see me like stop, unlock, and then turn the camera to the side a couple times, just to make sure they're not like, if I don't know where the other Phantoms are, I'm assuming they're right next to me.
Well, it's good to have that awareness, and this guy shouldn't have really dueled by this omen. I would have stayed preferably even on the ladder at this point.
I probably would have gotten to the omen though. Yeah, like the Phantom. Yeah, the Phantom probably should have gotten back to the ladder. At least be within view of the.
He fucked up royally, and then this guy tries to come save him.
Yeah, this bit right after over here, that one right there where he gets hit in the back, like you know that the omen's gonna sit there and do the breath over and over again. I don't understand healing so close. Like it's like free for all, rather than like Invader does work with the mobs as best as they can. Even though unfortunately, like everything larger than a certain size will damage invaders as well.
Well, the only time that I've ever noticed it very applicable to heal like in someone's face, and I've seen you do it before too. It's like either I'm gonna get hit, or if I heal, I can actually survive a hit and then keep on going.
Well, there's also the whole thing where it's like you heal just at a range, and they run up to you trying to stop you, but they're late, but they're not smart enough to realize that they're late. Yeah, and you can just bait the parry. You can
parry, yeah. But no, that was a good showing of like repositioning, utilizing the environment to your advantage. He murdered a Phantom and then basically got out to reposition near the host, and I think that's a pretty clever tactic, honestly.
Yeah, I never think about that because I've done it like usually when it's like I don't want to fight these two people, the host isn't going to come along, and I know both of these people are using like big spammy projectile skills, and they're going to chase me because they think they have the advantage. And if I can get like 5 seconds away just to use the Phantom finger, then I'll be out. And the host is like chilling off to the side.
He's at the summoning pole, so I think he's just trying to get another one because he's, running for his life.
Well, this one in particular, yeah. He was like, I need to replenish my Phantom count.
Man, I love the madness stuff, but man, I hate that it's so overused.
One of the mistakes that I think that they made is that, and maybe there's some reason for this, but I haven't been able to figure this out. All these madness weapons have the same amount for upgrade level. So for example, like you get, I think what was like 55, I think, on the Frenzy Seal, even at level 1, weapon level 0, which means like, that was the whole reason why that super combo I was doing earlier, the Wombo combo, actually works, because you could just invade people at a low level, madness into Wrath into Grail's Roar, and it is a guaranteed combo. There's no way out of it.
You could tell. I mean, this is something that I think we're all used to seeing, though. The next madness, he rolls through the madness itself.
Yeah, like I definitely hate that. Yeah. That I could have seen, like, it could have been a late roll. Everything will break you out of a roll. It doesn't matter who you are. I hate that. Like, you may not take damage. You're going to lose your FP. You're going to lose, well, you might take damage because you're going to combo into it, but I think they should adopt one of two things. Either, like, you don't get some of your iframes, which I think is kind of bad, or just have no build-up in iframes. And a lot of people say, okay, well, this is something that, like, it's a technical problem. You shouldn't be able to do it. It's like, well, you don't take damage when you're rolling. Like, what? You know, like take the line where you say, like, calculate whether or not they, you know, have, like, calculate the build-up and put that where the damage goes. This is not rocket science. I've worked on these games. I've worked on multiplayer games, so this is not rocket science.
So we're here to critique the invasion, not from, because that's an entirely different scenario.
Yeah.
I do have to say, you can tell that this guy's used to invasions. And trying to get his hits in where he can, especially when I noticed him doing the like a lot of the backstabs. I probably would have abandoned the backstabs if they were intentional. They may not have been intentional, simply because of the latency factor, you know. And that's me talking from like a coach perspective at this point in time. But like when I'm in the heat of the moment, I probably would have been a dumbass and kept trying to do them anyway. You know, it's a little bit different when you're looking on the outside in.
Part of my invasion strategy is like, this isn't working. Force yourself to recognize it ASAP. Like 2 iterations and just bail on it. Like, because you know, the moment you get too tunnel vision to trying something, which is really good with this dude, like you see a lot of like, this is not working out, switch off the cannon, this is not working out, hit the phantom finger, and even like swapping to, like, you see the spear swap, you see all this other stuff. Have that flexibility is probably more valuable than just being extremely quick and precise in a lot of cases, just because the more you're not playing the other player's game, the more they have to adjust, and if you're faster to adjust than they are, the current skill is no longer relevant, as you're basically kind of like sidestep. I mean, it's the same thing as like circle strafing. It's like someone trying to go at you to do quick like melee and run attacks. Well, it doesn't matter if you get around them and get the backstab.
Yeah, it reminds me of like toggle escapes from Dark Souls, because like there were so many people that could do toggle escapes, sure, and even first hit toggle escapes, right? But they still didn't know how to fight properly, so it was so easy to just smash them. All right, so chat, you were good. The votes on this one were like, I would be highly critical, as hypocritical as it is for me to be critical, like super critical right now. But this one was a good invasion. I actually really appreciated what was shown off by
I'm definitely glad that these are getting solid votes, because we only got a couple. We only got a couple of people voting, but the choices were good. We're only planning to go through the top 5. We'll probably take the rest and shuffle them back into the pile for next time.
Yeah, they were all pretty good, honestly. Like it's not like it was something that was super memey or like super meta. I don't think we got any meta stuff out here for the invaders, right? I think it was all pretty legit.
It wasn't like super high level. You know, we saw some good variety. Of course, obviously, seeing family build stuff means we're gonna see a lot of blood stuff.
I mean, that's fine. It wasn't all rivers of blood. That's all I care about. There was one part of rivers of blood. That's shit. That is true. Yeah,
because we were thinking like you know, getting the setup for this stuff is so difficult, and I ended up getting super busy, and like figuring out the timing is tough.
Thanks for having me. It's fun. We should definitely do more. Just, you know, chat, get off your ass and submit.
Yeah, fucking vote for shit, please.
Nerd, I'm shaming you. I'm too lazy to play the game. You should play for me.
Yeah. I'm putting on my top hat and monocle because I'm better than everybody else here.
I'm just ahead. I don't have an able body to do it, so do it.